Virgo, let me ask you something deep. Have you ever given someone endless chances because you believed they would finally see your worth, only to realize they were counting on you never leaving? Have you ever walked away so silently, so completely, that your absence spoke louder than any words could? And have you ever wondered why the very moment you left, their world began to fall apart piece by piece, like a quiet storm slowly unraveling everything they took for granted? This message is for you. I want to tell you a story that's more than just astrology. This is about destiny, energy, karma, and the divine blueprint you carry deep in your soul. Every time you forgave what should not have been forgiven, every time you stayed quiet when you could have spoken, every time you chose peace over proving a point, it wasn't weakness. It wasn't being naive. It was the universe keeping score, writing every moment into a cosmic ledger that never forgets. Because what they didn't realize is that when a Virgo walks away, they aren't just leaving a relationship or a friendship. They are stepping out of an entire timeline. And when that happens, karma begins its countdown. Slowly, silently, but surely. People often underestimate the impact of hurting a Virgo. They assume kindness is permission. They see patience and think it's endless, but every ignored text, every dismissed feeling, every lie that slipped past without accountability, those moments weren't lost. They were recorded, not just by you, but by something bigger. The universe watches who honors you and who takes you for granted. And when that balance is broken, it responds, not always with loud consequences, but with subtle shifts. Relationships fall apart. Opportunities close. Doors that once opened easily suddenly lock, and they wonder why nothing feels right anymore. But the truth is, the moment they lost you, they lost the blessing the universe placed in their life. And no blessing walks back through the same door twice. Elena sat by the window as the soft sound of rain tapped against the glass. Outside, the world seemed still, but inside her heart, memories were alive, swirling like a quiet storm she could not stop. She traced her finger along the cold window pane, following the faint reflection of the crescent moon above. That moon, incomplete, hanging in the night sky, reminded her of all the promises left unfinished, all the words never spoken. He had left her, not with anger, not even with cruelty, but with silence. And it was the silence that hurt the most. Yet Elena didn't shed a tear that night. She sat still, watching the clouds pass, breathing slow and steady, because she remembered. She remembered everything. Every moment he turned away instead of leaning in. Every time he chose convenience over commitment. Every glance that carried a half-truth. Every apology that felt rehearsed. She remembered the way his voice changed when he lied. The way the room shifted when his mind drifted elsewhere. She didn't need to confront him. She didn't need a dramatic farewell. Her heart had been keeping the records all along, like pages in a book only she could read. And as she sat quietly in that room, it wasn't just her memory holding those moments. It felt as if something bigger, something invisible, had been collecting them too, above her. Unseen was what some might call fate. Others might name the universe. But Elena felt it as a quiet force, gathering, storing, watching. Every sigh, every disappointment, every time she swallowed her pride to keep the peace, it had all been recorded. Not by accident, not randomly, but intentionally. And while he thought she'd forget, move on, erase those nights from her mind, she was quietly remembering every detail, not because she wanted to hold on to pain, but because remembering was part of her healing. Virgo, you don't forget. You don't scream. You don't fight the way others do. You step back. You withdraw. And in that silence, something powerful begins to happen. The universe starts shifting, slowly, silently, but intentionally. Blessings that once surrounded them begin to fade. Opportunities that came easily begin to slip through their hands. Life starts to feel heavier. Doors begin to close. And the people who once felt secure start questioning why nothing feels stable anymore. But you know why? Because the moment you walked away, it wasn't just your presence that left it, it was the favor of the universe leaving with you. Tonight, I want you to write down something you are choosing to release. It could be a name, a memory, a disappointment, or even a dream that no longer serves you. Fold that paper 3 times. Place it under your pillow as you sleep. And when the morning comes, light a small candle. Hold the paper carefully above the flame and watch it burn. Let the smoke carry it away. As it rises, say softly, I remember, I release, I reclaim. Feel the weight lift as you let go, knowing that the universe is already clearing a new path for you. Virgo, every time you forgave, every time you extended grace, it wasn't weakness, it was hope. But hope, like patience, is not infinite. Every chance you gave wasn't just for them, it was a countdown written by the universe itself. Each forgiveness was a step closer to the end, and when the last chance was given, the universe closed the chapter, sealed the contract, and marked the moment with an invisible signature only your soul could read. People often mistake a Virgo's patience for permanence. They think you'll always be there, always answer the call, always show up even when they've failed you over and over. But they don't see the quiet calculations happening in your mind. They don't see the way you keep score, not to hold it against them, but to know when enough is truly enough. And when you reach that invisible line, there is no warning, no dramatic exit, no explanation. There's just distance, quiet, peaceful, irreversible distance. And in that distance, the universe begins to rebalance what they disrupted, not with loud punishment, but with subtle shifts that slowly unravel the safety they once assumed they had. Tonight, if you're holding on to someone who's had more chances than they deserved, I want you to take a moment for yourself. Write their name on a small slip of paper. Fold it 3 times. Hold it above a gentle flame. And as you watch it burn, say softly, I release you. I release me. I release this contract. Watch the paper disappear, the smoke rise, the ash fall, and feel the weight lift from your chest. Because what you're letting go isn't just a person, it's a chapter that no longer needs to be rewritten. It's a contract that no longer serves your future. And in letting it go, you make room for something new, something truer, something aligned with the version of you who no longer waits at the window, but walks forward into the unknown, stronger, wiser, and free. Elena loved her garden. Every morning she would wake up before the sun rose, step barefoot onto the damp earth, and tend to each plant with quiet devotion. She watered the roots, pulled the weeds, rearranged the stones around the paths. Her hands smelled of rosemary and earth, and when she stood back to look at what she had built, there was a peace that washed over her, a stillness no one could touch. But one day, someone walked through her garden without asking. Their heavy boots trampled the soft grow. Elena stood there, watching the damage, feeling the ache in her chest. She realized in that moment that loving something wasn't enough. Protecting it mattered just as much. Her garden needed walls. It needed boundaries, not because she wanted to shut people out, but because she had learned not everyone who visits intends to care for what they touch. Virgo, your peace is like that garden. It is sacred. It is delicate. It takes years of effort to cultivate, to preserve, and not everyone deserves access. Some. They take your patience as a sign you'll never say no. They see your calm and assume they can keep disturbing your quiet without consequence. But every step they take across your sacred space leaves a mark. Every careless word, every broken promise, every selfish demand, it all adds up. And while you keep tending to your inner garden, hoping they'll one day respect the effort, they keep walking through as if it belongs to them. But the universe sees, the universe notices, and when the balance is broken, Tonight, I want you to stand in front of a mirror. Place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and say, I protect my peace. I honor my energy. I restore my sanctuary. Repeat it 3 times. Let those words settle into your bones. Let them echo through the quiet parts of you that have been waiting for protection. Elena once crossed a long wooden bridge that stretched over a deep river. She walked slowly, each step deliberate, feeling the wood creak beneath her feet. Behind her, the wind began to pick up, swirling around her hair, tugging at her coat. But she never turned back. She kept moving forward, leaving the past on the other side of that bridge. She didn't burn it. She didn't destroy it. She simply walked across and let it stand behind her, empty, unused, irrelevant. She became a lighthouse in a quiet storm, steady even as the waves crashed beneath. The people she left behind didn't realize the importance of that moment. They thought she'd return, thought she'd call, thought there would be another chance to cross paths. But what they didn't understand was that the crossing itself was the closure. Virgo. Sometimes your goodbye doesn't come with words. It comes with footsteps. It comes with silence. And in that silence, something powerful unfolds. The universe begins its quiet work. Behind you, the bridge starts to weather. The ropes loosen. The boards. It's not because you wished harm. It's not because you wanted them to suffer. It's because the universe honors balance. When someone disrupts the peace you've worked so hard to build, the universe responds, not with chaos, not with fire, but with quiet correction. Opportunities that once seemed easy begin to drift away from those who took you for granted. Doors close, connections falter, and they wonder why. But you know why. You know the weight of loyalty. You know the cost of patience. And you know that. Tonight, go outside and look up at the night sky. Feel the vastness above you. Let the breeze touch your face. And say, I walk forward. I leave the bridge behind. The universe can have what's left. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. Let the moment mark your crossing. Let the universe take care of what no longer belongs to you. And let me remind you, Virgo, that setting boundaries is not about building walls to isolate yourself. It's about creating a sacred space where your peace can flourish without interruption. It's about knowing who has earned a key to your inner world and who must admire it from afar. Just like a garden needs fences to protect the fragile blooms, your energy needs protection from those who take without giving, those who consume without gratitude. Every step you take toward protecting your peace is a step T, Virgo. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're cold or distant. It means you've learned that not everyone deserves unlimited access to your energy. Just as a garden gate keeps the flowers safe from harm, your limits protect the beauty and peace you've worked so hard to cultivate. People might call you guarded, but they never saw how many times you opened the gate before, how many weeds you pulled, how much soil you turned over just to make things grow again after someone left damage behind. Protecting you. And when you cross that bridge, Virgo, remember that leaving doesn't make you heartless. It makes you wise. You've given enough, stayed long enough, tried hard enough. Sometimes love looks like staying, but other times love looks like walking away to save yourself. People don't always realize the bridge is one way until they look behind and see you're already on the other side. Moving forward without them, they'll call, they'll reach, they'll try to rebuild what they burned down, but some structures can. You are not obligated to go back and explain yourself. You are not required to reopen doors that the universe has gently closed for your protection. The quiet strength of a Virgo comes from knowing when to stop watering what refuses to grow. And even as they misunderstand your silence, your absence, your refusal to engage, the universe understands. The universe blesses you for choosing yourself. Every bridge you leave behind becomes a symbol of a chapter completed, a lesson learned, a peace reclaimed. Take this moment to acknowledge how far you've come. Think of every time you ignored your own needs to care for someone else's comfort. Every time you swallowed your truth to avoid conflict. Every time you said yes when you wanted to say no. And see how standing here now, at the end of that bridge, is proof that you have grown stronger. Strong enough to choose your own path. Strong enough to step into the unknown. Strong enough to trust that the universe will carry what you no longer need to hold. Elena disappeared quietly, like a phoenix rising from quiet ashes. She was rebuilding unseen. She wasn't just healing, she was rebirthing. There were no posts, no updates, no explanations. People wondered where she had gone, but she had simply stepped back, out of sight, out of reach. What they didn't realize was that she hadn't vanished. She had retreated to rebuild. Behind the silence, behind the absence, there was work happening. She was gathering the broken pieces of herself, fitting them together, stronger, wiser, sharper than before. Every tear had watered a new seed. Every sleepless night had paved a path of Virgo. When you rise differently. It's not about returning to who you were before. It's about stepping into a new version of yourself, one shaped by every lesson, every hurt, every truth you dared to face. The same pain that once brought you to your knees becomes the fire that lifts you. And when they see you again, they won't recognize the glow. They'll see the strength in your eyes, the peace in your silence, the confidence in your boundaries. And they'll realize too late that the version of they say you changed, but really, you returned to who you were meant to be all along. Do they even realize what they lost? Or will it only hit them when you're already too far ahead? The universe honors the ones who rise without bitterness, who heal without revenge, who grow without dragging others down. Virgo, your glow-up isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's the way you walk into a room carrying peace no one can take. It's the way you love yourself so fully that anyone who wants to stand beside you must come correct. And while they wonder how you got here, you'll be too busy low. Tonight, light a candle. Watch the flame. Let it remind you of the fire inside you. Say softly, I rise. I reclaim. I renew. Repeat it until you feel it settle in your bones, until the words feel true, because they are. Elena once drew a future in her journal. She sketched a home, a family, a life she dreamed of building with someone she loved. Every line was filled with hope, with plans, with quiet faith in a shared tomorrow. But after everything, that drawing was folded up and locked away in a small wooden box. Not because she stopped dreaming, but because she realized not everyone deserves a seat at the table she was preparing. That dream wasn't gone. It was reserved, protected, waiting for someone worthy to join her. Virgo, they didn't just lose you. They lost the future you were quietly building for both of you. They didn't see the late-night conversations where you imagined what life could be. They didn't see the way you researched solutions to their problems, how you planned around their goals, how you wove them into your vision without asking for credit. They thought your care was casual, your support automatic, but it wasn't. Every gesture was intentional. Every act of love was a brick in the foundation of a home. When they betrayed you, they didn't just break trust. They tore down a vision they never even realized was there. And the saddest part is, they may never know the depth of what they lost. They'll move on, thinking they only lost a relationship. But one day, in the quiet moments, they'll feel the absence. They'll notice the way no one listens like you did. No one plans like you did. No one believes in them like you did. And it will hit them that they didn't just lose a partner. They lost the blueprint for. You don't need to explain the value you brought. The universe saw. The universe knows. And the universe will honor your efforts in ways they can't follow. Virgo, your love isn't ordinary. Your loyalty isn't common. Your vision isn't replaceable. You are not just another chapter. You were the story they didn't bother to finish reading. Tonight, write down one dream you're still holding close. Fold the paper gently. Hold it to your chest. Say, "My dreams stay with me. No one takes what was meant for me." Let those words protect the vision. Keep it safe, because the right people will never ask you to shrink your dreams to fit their small world. And let me remind you, Virgo, that your dream isn't just about a house or a family. It's about building a life aligned with your values, your peace, your joy. Every time you stayed up late comforting them, every time you put aside your wants to lift their burdens, you were laying down bricks. And now that space is still yours. Even if they're no longer part of it, you never lost the vision. You simply reserved it for someone who would never make you question your worth. Each boundary you set now is not. And Virgo, think of all the quiet ways you built that future. Every grocery list you made that included their favorite snack. Every appointment you scheduled so they wouldn't forget. Every small task you handled so their life felt a little easier. None of that was random. It was love woven into the details. A blueprint being drawn while they were too distracted to notice. You were crafting a life around both of you, and they mistook your steadiness for simplicity. They didn't realize how rare it is to fee. You carried both visions, yours and theirs, on your shoulders, and when they dropped their end of the dream, you tried to carry it all alone. That's the part they'll never understand. That strength wasn't weakness. That silence wasn't indifference. That endurance wasn't permission to take more. And now that you've stepped away, they won't just miss you. They'll miss the safety of having someone who always looked ahead, who always saw potential even when they couldn't. You were the architect, the foundation. And when they finally understand what they lost, it won't be in a loud moment. It'll come quietly, in the middle of a restless night, in the ache of a holiday dinner where no one asks the thoughtful questions you used to ask, in the stillness of realizing no one checks in with the same sincerity. That's when they'll feel it. Not just the absence of your presence, but the absence of the future you had planned for them without them even asking. And by then, Virgo, you'll be far ahead, walking your own path. Elena stood in the rain, her face lifted toward the sky, not waiting for anyone anymore. There was no apology coming, no grand gesture, no final conversation to tie things up. And she was okay with that, because something inside her had shifted. She finally understood what she had been all along, not the afterthought, not the one holding on too tightly. She was the blessing. Virgo, people don't always recognize the light they're given. especially when it arrives quietly, in steady support, in daily care, in consistent love. You were their miracle, and they treated you like a placeholder. They assumed your presence was permanent, that you'd always be the one who stayed, who forgave, who made room for their mistakes, until the moment you didn't. You didn't leave with bitterness. You didn't slam the door. You simply stopped showing up. It wasn't anger. It was truth. You saw what they refused to see. Love without respect is not love at all. And in that decision to walk away, you didn't just end a relationship. You reclaimed your value, and the universe it noticed. When they lost you, they didn't just lose a person. They lost peace, devotion, clarity. They lost the one who prayed for them in silence, who defended them in rooms they weren't even in. And now, without your steady hand, the chaos creeps in. The blessings slow down. The doors that once opened for them start closing quietly, one by one. Virgo, your love isn't loud, but it is transformational. It is the kind of presence that makes a life easier, softer, more meaningful. And when someone loses that, the void is undeniable. They'll miss your birthday texts, your calming voice during storms, your belief in them when they didn't believe in themselves. Tonight, step into the mirror, look into your own eyes and say this: I am the blessing. I am the miracle. I am the light that never needed chasing. Let those words sit with you. Let them echo, because you were never meant to be tolerated. You were meant to be treasured. Walk forward now. The rain isn't washing you away. It's cleansing you. It's preparing the path ahead, one you no longer have to walk carrying someone else's weight. You see, being the blessing doesn't always look like shining in someone's spotlight. Sometimes it means walking away and letting them learn what absence really feels like. It's in the quiet that the truth echoes loudest. You gave them patience, and in return, they gave you pain. But pain can be a teacher. And now, you've graduated from that lesson. You don't need revenge. You don't even need closure. Your peace is the reward. Your future is the answer. And the love that waits ahead, it will match you. Not. Virgo, as you stand here now, know that the universe has been watching all along. Every time you stayed quiet, every time you chose love over pride, every time you carried more than your share, it all mattered. The moment you walked away, the moment you stepped into your own power, something shifted. A door opened that they can no longer walk through. A chapter began that doesn't have their name on the page. And that's not cruelty, it's alignment. You're not leaving them behind, you're simply stepping into W. You see, the blessing was never something they gave you. The blessing was who you were all along. And now, as you cross this threshold, it's time to claim every bit of that truth. The light you carried for others, shine it on yourself. The patience you offered endlessly, pour it back into your own journey. The loyalty you gave so freely, reserve it for the ones who show up with the same heart. Tonight, I want you to write this on your wrist. I am the blessing. I am the miracle. I am chosen. Stand still. Feel those words in your skin. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart. And repeat softly, I step into the life that was always mine. I call back every part of me I gave away. I walk forward in grace. Virgo, this is your turning point. This is your moment to no longer ask for permission to be whole. You've always been enough. You've always been the answer. And now you rise. And let this be the night you release the guilt of leaving. Let this be the moment you forgive yourself for staying too long, for believing too hard, for hoping past reason. Every tear that fell watered the ground you now stand on. Every hurt carved a deeper well of wisdom inside you. And as you walk ahead, know that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over pain, choosing freedom over fear, choosing love for yourself over loyalty to what broke you. And in that choice, you become the miracle.